Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be continuing our Bible, reading the full Bible. Remember, we learned how Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and he met back up with Esau, and all that. So now we're getting into called Homecoming, based on Genesis chapter 35, starting on this page here. Okay, after feasting together, the brothers say goodbye. Jacob heads towards his father's home in Hebron. Goodbye, Jacob, and greet my father for me. I will. Tell him you are doing well. Goodbye, and God bless you, Esau. So they leave on good terms, which, is one of the best. Like, it would absolutely, hurt me, if I, never, like, if me and my brother was, at the point where he hated me or just whatever, and, one of us died or whatever, and, you never got to make up, with him or say you're sorry or whatever, so it was good that they got to do that, before either one of them passed away and got off on good terms. Sometime later on the way, Jacob stops at Bethel. Rachel, this stone marks the place where I saw angels coming to me from heaven. This is where God promised to take care of me. He has taken care of me more than I deserve. God has been good to us, Jacob. I pray that He will take care of our son Joseph and the child who is soon to be born. Later on that journey, not far from Bethlehem, Rachel's child was born. It's a boy, master, but Rachel is dead. So, in birth, obviously this just gets right down to the point, but in birth, unfortunately, Rachel had died, giving birth to his youngest son, Benjamin. So Benjamin was Jacob's last son, because he had a bunch of sons, and then Joseph, which was his favorite, and then Benjamin, which, eventually his brothers, obviously, we all know Joseph gets the coat of many colors, and what his brothers end up doing to him. Benjamin was never like his other brothers, though, him and Joseph was always on good terms. But this, unfortunately his wife has passed away, but he's got his son out of it. And he says, "Oh, little Benjamin, you and your brother Joseph are all that remind me of my beloved wife." So, which is why, because, obviously he had his first wife, which is whom he had all of them, the sons with. And then he had Rachel, which is who he had Joseph with, and then Benjamin, which is why, they were his favorite, because Rachel is who he really wanted to be with in the first place. You should never show favoritism like that, but that was what Jacob did. Jacob buries his beloved wife, Rachel. Then he and his family continue sadly on their journey, stopping now and then to rest and feed the flocks. As they travel on, Jacob wonders, Rachel has died. My parents are old. Will I even get to my father while he's still alive? So now that, that begins to run through his mind. Will I even reach him before he passes away? And if you remember, his mother he'll never see again, because of the fact that was, that was one of his punishments for what he did all them years ago. Jacob's hand trembled as he shades his eyes and looks towards the distant city of Hebron. Is that where grandfather Isaac lives? Yes, Joseph. I pray we are not too late. He is very old. So at this point, you gotta think, his sons are, older. This has been many years ago. Jacob's a man by now. Lots happened. So Isaac has to be, very, very old. He was already older and couldn't hardly see anything like that before, Jacob even left. God answers Jacob's prayers. At the sight of his old and blind father, Jacob falls to his knees. Father, I am Jacob, your son. Thank God I am with you again. Jacob, I have prayed for your return. Do you have your children now? Proudly, Jacob presents his 12 sons to their grandfather Isaac. Father, this is Joseph and this is Benjamin, the sons of my beloved Rachel. Be strong, my children, and always obey God. So, he shows, not necessarily shows them, because obviously Isaac is blind by then, But, he introduces them, and, he even gives them some words, be strong and always obey God. That would speak to you, especially because a lot of people look up to their grandparents and things like that, So that is always a good message to give to your grandchildren, first of all, you should be setting an example. You can't preach something and not do, the same thing, or teach something and not be like that, because they're gonna now. I mean, yeah, they'll listen to your words, but a lot of times children, are bent on how you act is how they act. So, they idolize people and things. So yes, always teach them, tell them, and everything about God, especially because how the world is going right now. The world is a very horrible place right now, and the things that they're trying to teach little children, it's just horrible, all the transgender stuff that they're trying to teach them in schools now, and the things that they're doing is god awful. And I gotta pray to God, because He has a plan. He told us the world would go this way, that it would keep getting worse as it has. But we just gotta keep praying and keep teaching our children, to the right way of living, the right way of serving God, the right way of living for God, and to teach them that stuff right there is, the transgender thing, all that stuff is wrong. It's completely wrong. Lots of people say they were born a boy, but they feel like a girl. Well, if you were supposed to be a girl, you'd have been born a girl. You would not have been born a man. So, that is a good message from Isaac to his children, is always obey God. No matter how bad things seem, no matter if people mock you or bully you or what they try to teach you. If you know it's wrong and it's not something God would do, then don't do it. Always obey Him, always serve Him, and teach your kids and your brothers and your family and your friends, and teach them that. And as our final message here in the story, years later, Isaac goes to be with his God, the God of his fathers. So, a couple of years later, eventually Isaac, has passed away, very old age. We've seen a lot happen with Isaac, just as we've seen with Abraham before him, now he is gone to be with God as well. At this time, it would actually be, he would have gone to paradise, which paradise was a place. He explains this more so like in the actual Bible. This breaks everything down, simplifies it. But paradise was a place by hell. They can actually see into hell. Actually, that the rich man had, I believe it was with Abraham and Lazarus, and he wanted him to give a drink. They were actually talking to somebody in hell, and obviously they couldn't give him a drink, because hell, it's a very torturous place. The Bible explains it, more so than He does even heaven, because He wants us to fear it. He wants us to understand that is a very horrible place. You do not want to go there. There is, nothing. There is not. You just go into nothingness, or you reincarnate into a human being, another human, or whatever. There is no such thing as that. There are two places. There's an afterlife. There's heaven and hell. Heaven, you will go and you will live in peace. There will be no sickness, no anxiety, no fear, no jealousy, nothing. You live healthy. You'll be young always, for all eternity, and be joyful always. Be with God. Be with your family. And just live in eternal peace. That is heaven, and the other is hell. Obviously heaven, hell, when Jesus died, He took the people out of paradise, put them in heaven. Now hell has begun to expand, but because more and more people are going there. Unfortunately, this hell was never meant for us. God made it for the devil and the demons. But unfortunately, when we fall in the same footsteps as the devil, that is where we will end up as well. And there are tons of people down there right now. They're praying to God right now for people, not for themselves, because they know they can't be saved. But they pray that people like us, their families, will not make the same mistakes that they did, will not turn away from God, because there's a torturous place you fall in darkness forever. You're always, a lot of people think, it's like fire all around you, but it's the intensity of the fire, the heat. You're always burning. You're thirsty. Like I said, you're all blackness, and even the demons down there, because if demons don't have a host, demons have to have a host. They have to have somebody that they can attach themselves to. If they don't have that, they will be in hell until they can find somebody that they can attach themselves to. And then once the world ends, obviously they will all go down there regardless. But they torture you while they're down. They're being tortured, and they torture you. It's torture for all eternity. You cannot escape. You can never come out and get a drink. The only time they're going to come out is on Judgment Day for a short time, and then they will be sent back to hell, for all eternity. And the world's going very bad now, and I think, God can end the world at any moment, so be ready. He says always look out for him in the third day for heaven, which is when we are right now, because one day lasts 1,000 years. So 1,000 years, up to 2,000 years. Now we're in the third day, from 1,000 to 3,000. He can come at any time. He's giving us more time, giving us the opportunity to get more people into heaven. He does not want us to go to hell, but he gave us a choice, and we have that choice. Obviously he could take everybody to heaven and just send the demon and the devils there. He can wipe us from existence like we never even were created, because he created all. There is a God, and he loves us, and he's waiting for us. And we've done a lot of bad here. We can't change what's bound to happen, but the world's tearing itself apart. We can put a little good into this world and help people, save people, teach people, change people, because the world's going to end regardless. And, then people are going to go one place or the other. So, I'm a shy person myself. It's hard to talk to people from myself, but, don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. God is with you, because let me tell you, not only are you going to be blessed, by God for this, but you are also going to be saving them people. You're going to be helping them people. You're going to be giving them a chance to go to the same place, even if they blow you off or whatever. You're planting that seed in their mind. Now they're going to think about it and things like that, and it might convert them over. I've seen a lot of horrible people change. What they're doing. People have done some bad things, and they completely turn their life around. Their life turns to be so much better. But don't ever be afraid. Jesus wasn't afraid. He went everywhere and preached the gospel. He traveled, miles and miles, and was never afraid. God will give you the wisdom, the strength you need to preach these messages, and every time, lots of people. I've seen very many comments and things like that where people, are, proving me God's real, God's not real, and then they try to come at you all this stuff, and that happened. The same thing happened to Jesus. Many times when people would try to argue with him, but every time Jesus was able to come back, he would come back calmly. He wouldn't be angry or anything. He wouldn't be ignorant or nothing, but he would tell them, the truth. And in moments when people are whether you're face to face or it's on the phone, wherever, and they're saying this stuff to you, take the time to pray. Pray for that person. And then pray for God to give you the wisdom and the words to say and the words to speak to this person. And then tell them the truth. And he will give you what to say to help this person, to teach this person. And that's the truth. So, just get out there and do the best you can, whether it's even on the internet, posting things, talking to somebody about it, whatever it is, because, it won't be too much longer, and, this world will be no more. And I hope I see you guys also, in heaven as well. That's why I'm doing this, because, of that fact. I need to do something for God, and not be selfish or be afraid of what people may think of me or anything, whether people I know see me on here, and, you know, I don't care what they think. They can mock me, they can laugh at me. They did the same thing to Jesus. And he even told Peter, the world hated me and it will hate you. So, you know, we can't be afraid. You know, don't care what other people think about you. It doesn't matter what they think. It matters what God thinks, and it matters, you know, what the outcome of their life will be if you do help them change. But I thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you've learned something new. God bless as always, and take it easy, and I'll catch you guys next week.